Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching my weekly reading for the week of March 7th through to the 13th. This is going to be a fantastic week. The beginning of the week, on Monday, we have International Women's Day. That divine feminine energy, it comes back with a vengeance. It shows us how that feminine energy can be strong, supportive, and move mountains. So we have that amazing energy raring to go. It supports us with really getting some stuff done during this week, which is important as we're heading into the summer. And there are so many more opportunities that the summer is going to present to offer us. It's up to us to be present and being open for them. And not to mention ensuring our vibration is high enough to acknowledge and embrace that opportunity. So we have some work ahead of us. This divine feminine energy, it's going to kick us into gear in the right direction. So this week, we are going to start off on some of that foreplanning and sowing some of those seeds that we're going to need for the summertime. Of course, we are going to have those challenges and those obstacles that we're going to face throughout this week, and I'm not going to neglect them. We don't want them to slow us down in any way. Knowing they're there, we can overcome them with greater ease. So of course, we need to know what to expect from the week ahead. I couldn't think of two more fantastic decks to support us in this exploration and understanding than the Everyday Witch Tarot and Oracle combination. It's a fantastic pairing that helps to very clearly depict what we need. Then I topped it off with the Sovereign Oracle Creative Visions expansion deck. We need that creativity now more than ever. It's going to help us to utilize these opportunities in meaningful ways. Now, like always, I do have links below to all these amazing decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. The selections, my friends, of course, we've got some Snowflake Obsidian, we have some Smoky Quartz, and some Serpentine. It's kind of crazy that all of them start with S. So for you Sesame Street fans, apparently this reading is brought to you by the letter S. What I want you to do though is pick whichever crystal resonates with you right now. It may not be your favorite, but it's the one that you can't keep your eyes off of. And then go into the description box below. There you're going to find timestamps. Click on your crystal's correlating timestamp. It's going to take you straight to your reading, and I will see you there, my friends. Hello and welcome, my Snowflake Obsidian friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and both oracle cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week has in store for my Snowflake Obsidian friends. What can my Snowflake Obsidian friends expect from the week of March 7th through to the 13th? Grounding and center. Oh, that's going to be important. Like I said originally in the introduction, we have this amazing divine feminine energy coming in. This mama bear energy. And if we're not grounded and centered, it's going to blow us over. It's going to topple us. The more grounded we are, of course, the more ability we're going to have to utilize this energy to our advantage. Being open to the amazing opportunities and growth that come with it. And the more centered we are, of course, the more empowered we're going to be to start to make those baby steps forward, creating those shifts in our everyday that will create the change that we're looking for. So that grounded, that centered space, they're going to be essential for you. Now, of course, I do have some supports for you to help you with this grounded, centered space. I do have an amazing grounding meditation that I created with Archangel Ariel. This is a fantastic meditation that will ground you like you've never been grounded before. And because it's a meditation, it supports you in creating that center calm, that centeredness that we're looking for. Now, if you're new to my channel and aren't too sure about this meditation I'm talking about, I have 2 meditative playlists on my channel. These meditations, they're all about 30 minutes long, they're a guided meditation, and they're free for you to visit and revisit as much as you need. Now, the first playlist that I'm going to talk about is my Healing with the Archangels playlist. That, of course, is where you're going to find the Archangel Ariel meditation. All the meditations in this playlist are collaborations with different archangels for different aspects of life. These are fantastic meditations to help you with that healing process. The second is called Just You and Me playlist. These are meditations where it's just you and me, and we work on tools and skills that will support you in the here and now for your greater good. These are fantastic meditations, and meditation in a whole, like I said, will help you with that centered energy. The more centered we are, the more able we are to use our skills and our abilities. We're functioning from a better space. We're less reactive and more contemplative, more able to be critical about how we respond and how we move forward. It's really a win-win for us. So that grounding meditation with Archangel Ariel will help ground you, like I said, like never before. I also have another grounding meditation in my Just You and Me playlist. Both these meditations will support you with that grounding piece. One of the ways that you can continue to promote that groundedness within self throughout your day is also through the use of crystals. So I encourage my friends and clients to participate in the morning in a grounding meditation, especially if you know that your day has a lot going on. Taking that 30 minutes to ground yourself, taking that little bit of time for you, and then using some crystals to support and promote that grounded energy with you throughout your day. Crystals like black obsidian, tiger iron, anything black or red will support you with that grounded energy. And grounding is a challenge for many of us. We have to be very intentional when it comes to ensuring that we maintain that groundedness, that centeredness. Like I said, it does support us in making decisions and solutions that are for our best interest and greatest good. All right, we know we need to be grounded, but what else? Let's look at this a little bit deeper. What should my Snowflake Obsidian, friends, oh sure, almost into the candle, focus in on this week? That is apparently a very important and very jumpy card. I love this deck, and it's such a challenge to shuffle because it's so small. A little bit bigger would have been nicer so it's easier to shuffle and not so jumpy. But it's important. Define. Give it more detail. Create a container, then fill it with intention. Pick a focus and find your unique track. Like I said, with that grounded energy, we're going to be able to make some decisions and create solutions that are for our greater good. That individual journey. We do need that definition and that intention. Setting those intentions helps to bring in added support. When we set intentions, we can bring in that kind of tail end of, oh, and by the way, can you help me? So for example, when you're going to start out your day, setting some intentions, I want to maintain my grounded energy today. I am going to be participating in this meditation. I would love added support in helping me to achieve and maintain my groundedness and centeredness throughout my busy day. Right then and there, you're opening it up. You're asking the high vibrational beings, whomever they are, to support you, to help you. So you're setting intention and focusing you, but you're also bringing down the claws of free will a bit here. You're allowing the high vibrational beings to support you throughout your day. It's truly a win-win situation. They can help you out like they want to, and you can receive the added benefit of the added support. That definition, that intention. We need to be very mindful of being clear to self and to others on what it is we need and want right now. Like I said, we need to use this amazing divine feminine energy to our advantage. It could either blow by us, blow us over, or we can embrace it and allow it to set our direction and give us that little push and nudge we need. All right, let's get into this. We know that on Monday, we have this amazing International Women's Day. And that's a celebration of that feminine energy. Well, the universe uses this day to its advantage. The universe uses our everyday tools to its advantage to support us without us knowing. It uses that attention and a celebration of the feminine to amplify that divine feminine to support us. So we're going to have that right on the get-go. See how we can use this to our advantage. What can my Snowflake Obsidian friends expect from the beginning of the week? The King of Cups. So fantastic. So kings, they're the fully defined personality. They've got the most control, the most power. He has his intuitional power down pat. Most importantly, his emotional control is unsurmountable. And we need that right now. We need that emotional control. It's so easy to be reactive. That's why we have that grounded, centered energy. I said it a couple minutes ago. We need that grounded space, that centered energy to make decisions for our greater good, which means starting to take control of us and how we respond, how we allow outside energies to impact us. Being mindful, being very intentional, we can start to take back some control from our ego and embrace these opportunities. We're more open to them because we're less reactive. We're more in control of us. One of the ways I can support you with taking back this control and starting to create that inner calm is through a protection meditation that I created. It's actually using the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and Archangel Michael's energies to help protect you from that kind of chaotic busyness that occurs throughout our world. That energy. We are impacted by other people's energies, by some global energies, the community energy, even our household energies. They all add up and can push and pull us in different directions. That protective bubble that this meditation helps to create will support you in being able to manage yourself more fully than being kind of toppled about by all these energies. It gives you a clearer and more open space to make decisions for your greater good. We need to be mindful of our reactions at the beginning of the week because it will set our week up. If we're in that high vibration and positive mindset, well, our week is going to flow well and we'll find more opportunity there. However, if we're reactive and grumbly and low vibrational, well, you're setting yourself up again. That shift in energy and perspective is a big shift for many of us. It's not a hard shift. It's just a perspective shift here. We're being very intentional and mindful of how we're reacting and responding to things. Well, it creates an amazing impact in our life, in our everyday. We need that intention to start off on day one. Really, like I said, we'll set our week up for success. So, we have that very mindful, intentional, grounded, centered, protected energy. Let's see what the middle of the week brings. What can my Snowflake Obsidian friends expect from the middle of the week? The Hermit. That inner reflection, those aha moments. Like I said, the divine feminine energy is going to help to direct us. Well, we need to be very intentional, and that direction needs to come from within. Taking that time, being open to this insight, those aha moments, those messages that are hidden in plain sight. Being present in our right here and right now will support us in being able to not only acknowledge this insight and wisdom, but start to reflect in and understand how we're going to bring it into our everyday. It's one thing to acknowledge the information. It's another to start to put action to it. The middle of the week, though, we're looking at being open to this amazing insight, to this guidance that we need. I would really recommend that you have your spiritual binder with you throughout the middle of the week. Now, if you're new to my channel and you don't know what a spiritual binder is, it's pretty much like the spiritual journal, but instead of having it in a little cute book, you have it in a very, useful binder format, allowing for different forms of insight and guidance, allowing you to spread your wings rather than to conform to a small little book format. So, having that spiritual binder with you will support you in being able to put down that insight and information. And a little note here, guys, please be mindful of your electronic devices. I know it seems easier just to throw it into your phone or onto your computer or something. However, that electronic format can and does get impacted both by the high vibrational beings and the low. So I can guarantee you, you will lose information. The file will be corrupted. The file will be lost. That email that you know you sent doesn't appear anywhere. So, using your binder, using that old school pen and paper, it's really hard for the low vibrational beings to impact it so much that you can't find it, that it's not readable. Because the high vibrational beings, they can step in and support you more. Many times, if you need, you can ask for that help. Again, setting the intention to find things. And the high vibrational beings will support you in doing that, especially if it's for your greater good. So, I digress. Middle of the week, we want to be open to that amazing insight and wisdom. Like I said earlier, meditation is fantastic. That's why I have so many guided meditations, because meditation helps to calm you, it brings you that centeredness, and it opens you to that insight and information. Another meditation that's coming right up into my head here, and she's screaming about it, is Archangel Christiel. Months and months ago, I did a meditation with her where we looked at that forward journey. And that's exactly what we need right now. We need that direction. Connecting in and spending about 30 minutes with Archangel Christiel. She is fantastic, a very gentle and feminine energy. We'll connect in with that divine feminine energy that we're looking at, and will help you with that direction. And I love working with Archangel Christiel. She's fantastic. She has been kind of hidden away working with the high vibrational beings, the unicorns and the dragons, for, well, what seems like forever. So she has that very high, very gentle energy. We can use that to our advantage right now. All right, we'll get that direction. Let's go on to the end of the week. What do we do with it with the end of the week? What can my Snowflake Obsidian friends expect from the end of the week? And I kind of like the little campfire that the hermit's kind of meditating by or sitting by there, because the middle of the week really feels like it's going to really invigorate you. It's going to light that inner fire and passion. And that's going to bring in a lot more fulfillment in what it is we're trying to do and achieve. So cool. The Page of Swords. Pages, they're that enthusiastic, childlike energy that's full of fun, excitement, and inquisical energy. Like I just said, even before I even pulled the card off the table, this inner fire, this insight is going to invigorate you. That aha is going to support you in moving forward. We're not going back. Behind him, you can't see what's going on. There's background to most cards. He's got a bit of foreground, but that aha, that inner fire, that brightness, it shines too much. You can't see that background. We need to go forward with the knowledge, our tools, our creativity. And that's very much what we're going to be looking at. What we achieve and receive in the middle of the week, we need to start to make that forward progression. And we need to take it slow, guys. We're going to feel like, woo, let's go and run. But that quick, fast leaps of faith will cause instability. We want to take it slow. We need to take it steady. Because when we have that slow, steady progression, it's built on stability. Our ego doesn't have the ability to claw us backwards, causing regression and even further stagnation, and even more challenges when it comes to changing, when it comes to making those little shifts in our life. So that stable, slow step, it's so important right now. Taming that inner child and kind of reining them in, but taking those first couple steps forward on this insight, it's going to kind of invigorate you, it'll empower you, and it'll feel fantastic. You'll have that fulfillment that we're looking for. And of course, because you're making those small shifts and those steady steps forward, the universe is going to reward you. When we work towards our soul's journey, that deeper journey, when we're more aligned with it and we're starting to kind of realign ourselves to it, the universe rewards us through abundances, through supports, and allowing things to slide into place for you so things go better. Things are a little less challenging. It's a big reward for some shifting that we're looking at. Shifts are easy to maintain. That shift in perspective, using those tools to our advantage, helps us to be open to this insight, to this movement. to that fulfillment and that abundance that will come with what you're looking at. Like I said at the very beginning of this week, that perspective is everything. A little shift goes a long way in supporting you with this week. Actually, I'm going to step backwards in supporting you in this week, the weeks to come, and your lifetime journey. Making sure that we're in that high vibrational perspective will go a long way in supporting and helping you to make those choices and decisions for your greater good. And I know, because I do it all the time too, we're not always in high vibration. Sometimes we're having that bad moment or bad, hard time. Shaking it off and intentionally shifting our energies and our perspective will support us from making a situation that may be challenging into a day or a week that is really hard to deal with, because we have set that intention of having a crappy day, a crappy week, a crappy month, a crappy year. You can see how it spirals downwards quite quickly. So that intention, it will support you a lot. All right, let's go on to some more supports. What blessing can my Snowflake Obsidian friends embrace for the week of March 7th through the 13th? And it's funny that this week ends off on a 13, because the 13th is associated with the goddess. And again, we've got that divine feminine energy. Kind of cool. It truly is amazing how the universe works and how we can start to get that reconfirming message. Give in to passion. Oh, such a beautiful card. That inner light, that inner power, allowing it to come forward. This week can't be all about meditating and grounding and getting the job done and focusing in on the daily grind. We need to balance things out with that passion, that creativity, that fun and enjoyment. I said at the beginning of the reading, we have that divine feminine energy coming in. Well, it's been balanced out by the king, that divine masculine. We need to ensure that we balance our week out so that we can enjoy, we can find fun in what it is we're doing. We don't get too overwhelmed and bogged down by the information, by ensuring that we're meditating and we're grounding and that we're getting the bills paid and we're going to work and we're going to school and we're doing all these things. We need that fun and light just as much. Rebirth and reinvention. Like I said, many opportunities this week. It's going to be up to you on what you get out of it. You put the work in, you set that intention, you're going to be rewarded. However, like I said, if we're in a perspective of low vibration, that we're avoiding or resisting what the week offers, if you will, putting our head in the sand like an ostrich, we're going to miss out on these amazing opportunities. And like I said, it's up to you. You're the one at the end of the day that needs to live your life. I can only give you the guidance. You have to be the one that sits down, gets that direction, and then starts to move forward. Because stagnation, we know, only brings on the tower. The universe will only allow us to sit so long without literally getting us going through that lightning strike, through that kick in the butt. And right now, nobody needs that. We're still dealing with that global tower situation. That's very much what 2020 was a global tower situation. We're still dealing with it. We don't need an individual tower situation on top of it. All right. We know we need to go forward. We're going to end off on any further insight I can give you guys. What further guidance, support, and wisdom, whoa, come here, card, can we share with my Snowflake Obsidian friends for the week of March 7th through the 13th? The Five of Cups. Fives in tarot are always a challenging card. That cup talks about how we've been focusing in on aspects and pieces that may not have been so high vibrational, that may not have supported us as much as we needed. They weren't for our greater good. We've been ignoring the universe and what we really need to be focusing in on. That heartache and pain of what we think we would have wanted, the would-haves, the could-haves, the should-haves, are holding us back. Taking that time, giving ourselves that ability, space, and permission to be open to what will support us, what the universe wants to share with us, is essential. We need to shift our gears from that low vibration to the high, giving us that direction that's going to help us. We're going to find more stability, more abundance and fulfillment when we embrace these two cups rather than focusing in on the three overturn. The King of Swords. Anytime I see this card, I think of Mr. Spock, the Vulcan, from Star Trek. That's a logical captain. Well, logic is going to be important. We need to use our head, our critical thinking skills, those assessment skills, to help us be open to this insight, to this direction. We can't get caught up in that heart center, that emotion, because emotion is causing us problem. We need to take control of it. We knew that from day one, or well, the beginning of the week. That emotion is holding us back. We need to use that knowledge, that control to our advantage. Now, obviously, we do have the brothers, the kings. They are the 14th card in the minor arcana. Now, when you have that multiple 14 appear, the angels are telling you that this is a time of love and that you're attracting the energies to you that you put out. Reconfirming that need for that energetical shift and ensuring we're functioning from a high vibration. That heartache and pain, that's just going to hold you back. It's going to keep you stagnant and stuck. And we already talked about the Tower, and nobody has time for that. Okay, the cards are being stupid clear. The Three of Swords. That heartache and pain. It's going to keep you stagnant, stuck, and, well, sad. You're going to miss out on these amazing opportunities. This eureka that will support you with the growth that you want. More importantly, the fulfillment, the shifting that we want. We're not entirely joyous of every aspect of our life. There are things that are going right, for sure. We want to build off of them. However, those challenges, those could-haves, would-haves, and should-haves are holding us back. We have that pain with them. We have to release this pain and shift gears. Shift perspective back to what's going right and focusing in on that. The final meditation that I'm going to suggest to you guys is one I did with Archangel Metatron, where we looked at releasing that pain, helping you heal from it so that you are open to further growth and development. This time is for you. So take the sword by the handle and get going on it. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week is offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It helps me be found on the sea of YouTube, which supports us collectively, starting to raise our vibration and getting ourselves unstuck. And if you did like this video, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more coming your way, and you don't want to miss any of it. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight, healing, and education is through subscribing to my channel and hitting that little red bell so you don't miss a video. And also, if you did enjoy this video and want to support me making more, I do have a Patreon page. I have provided a link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Snowflake Obsidian friends. Hello and welcome, my Smoky Quartz friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week has in store for my Smoky Quartz friends. What can my Smoky Quartz friends expect from the week of March 7th through the 13th? Follow your dreams. Like I said, it's going to be important that we embrace this divine feminine energy that's coming in, because it's going to shift us into the right direction and give us that little nudge forward. This week is going to be about exploring not only what that direction looks like, and whether your hopes and dreams have evolved with you. Many times we start to evolve and develop, and we don't check in to where that end destination is, our long-term goals, and what it is we're hoping that will happen. We need to put some reflection in and be open to possibly a bit of shifting there, creating that long-term hope, dream, and goal that will support us the most. So this week, we are looking at some reflection, some releasing, and dissolving that resistance or barrier that's been holding us back, because our ego will try and sink its claws in and pull us backwards as much as it can. All right, so let's see what that forward projection, that possible shift is going to look like. What should my Smoky Quartz friends focus in on this week? Oh, so important. Define. Give it more detail. Create a container, then fill it with intention. Pick a focus and find your unique tack. Well, I think it's supposed to be track, but it does say tack there, but unique track. Our pathway forward is very individual. That definition and intention is essential. Like I said, many of us haven't redefined or critically looked at what it is we're going forward on, that long-term goal, where we're headed. We had done it years ago, and some of us so many years ago it's not even funny, and we've never looked back at it. We know we need to hit this landmark. We want that white picket fence. We want what it is that was told to us. Is there meaning to it? Do you feel fulfilled as you're trying to achieve it? Because it's not just that dream. that long-term goal we're looking at. We're looking at how we get there, that pathway forward. If it's full of challenge and hardship that brings us nothing but sadness and fear, we're getting nothing from it other than sadness and fear. We need to enjoy and find fulfillment in that journey, in heading and shooting for that star. So, it's an individual piece. Do you have that fulfillment, that happiness and joy? If not, what shifts need to occur? And that's what this week is about. Like I said, we're going to have that shifting, and the divine feminine is going to align us better to our soul's deeper purpose, which is going to give us more fulfillment and joy. Because when we're working on that right track, the universe supports us. It gives us a lot of rewards, abundance. We're going to get more opportunities and possibilities, and things kind of fall together in the right way. We have less resistance. We find things go a lot smoother when we are going on that right track. So let's get into this week. Let's get on this right track. What can my Smoky Quartz friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Six of Pentacles. Sixes are about balance. Pentacles is about growth and abundance. The more balanced we are, the more stable we're going to be for that growth, for that abundance. We need to be making sure that we're not hyper-focusing in on one area of our life. It's so easy to get those blinders on and miss out. Like I said before, we have to have the white picket fence. We have to have, well, when we start to put that as our end goal, where we're not being observant or mindful of our right here and right now, we miss out. We need to be present to all aspects of self, ensuring that energy, time, and permission occurs so that you have growth and development as a whole rather than in only one or two areas of your life. The beginning of the week, we're looking at rebalancing self, and I can help you out with that. At Christmas time, I brought out a meditation on balancing, and we focused in on balancing out and aligning your chakra system. That's going to give you a great tool to ensure the whole self has that balanced energy to function from. Now, if you're new to my channel and aren't too sure about what I'm talking about, this meditation, I have two meditative playlists on my channel. The first one I have is Healing with the Archangels. And they're meditations where I collaborate with different archangels to support you in your healing. The second is a Just You and Me playlist, where you will find that balancing meditation. And, well, it's just like it says. It's just you and me working on a skill or a tool to support you in on your journey. All my meditations are guided, and they're about 30 minutes long. You can visit and revisit them as often as you need, as they are free to you to use. These are tools for you to support you in on your journey. So this balancing meditation will help, because the more aligned and balanced your chakra system, well, you're kind of giving yourself an oil change, if you will. Your system flows so much better, and you're going to have a little bit more energy because you have less resistances and blockages within you. That energy, it's important. We need it. So making sure our system is functioning at its utmost, it's important. And it'd be a fantastic way to open ourselves up to that divine feminine energy and looking at where it is we're going to go. When we meditate, it doesn't matter what kind of meditation it is. When it's done right, which if you're following my guided meditations, you just listen and I will guide you through it. When you have that focus and intention, you start to calm that inner whirlwind. You ground yourself, you balance yourself, and you're more open to that guidance, to those aha moments, because you're using more of you. It's a fantastic opportunity to shift those gears and get you directed in that right direction. All right, so we know the beginning of the week, we need that balance. Let's go into the middle of the week to see how we can use this balance to our advantage. What can my Smoky Quartz friends expect from the middle of the week? The 6 of Cups. So we do have double sixes. And I love this. When you have that double 6 message, the angels are telling you that this is a time to balance your thoughts between your physical and your spiritual self. So reconfirming that balance message and how important it is for this week. Now, the 6 of Cups is a reminiscing card. It talks about going back, gaining that knowledge. Yes and no for this week. We do want to reflect in on what's going on, where it is we are currently directing ourselves to. However, this is a big however, guys. We don't want to go back and get caught up there. We want to reflect in on what we've done, in a sense of, okay, so X amount of years, I thought my goal should be this. We want to stay in that head space, that critical thinking space. We get caught up in our heart too much, and we're going to get stagnant and stuck. Our ego will bring in that heartache, that woe is me, that victim mentality. We don't need that. That's not going to serve us. Reflection, absolutely. Like I said earlier, the more balanced we are, the more we're going to be open to that guidance. We can take that guidance and mesh it into what we currently have and see where the incongruencies are, where it doesn't line up so well, so that you can make a clearer and more, if you will, defined path. I love it when you can get different decks all saying the same thing. It really confirms what it is I'm trying to say. That reflection, that understanding, it's important. We don't do well with just blindly going into something. That leap of faith causes too much anxiety, too much fear, to which our ego picks up and amplifies, causing us to regress and causing more stagnation. So we want those shifts, those little steps forward. Balancing ourselves out, opening ourselves up for that insight and guidance, and then looking at how you can incorporate that in. Reflecting on what's going right. How does this insight support you with allowing that to grow and flourish? We're not looking at doing major changes this week. We're looking at using the energies to support us in that shift and helping us with a bit of perspective change, because it is something that seems culturally okay, that we just focus in on what we don't have, or what the neighbor has, or what society expects us to have, and then we get sad about it because we don't have it. And what's worse is that there's no meaning to it because we don't have that inner connection. Our soul's like, yeah, that has nothing to do with what we wanted. So we need that connection, that balance to what it is we're trying to achieve. And that's what this week is really going to help us with, helping us bring more of a balance and alignment on what we're trying to achieve, and where our growth and development is. Because what's going right is what we need to add on to. We need to build it up, strengthen it, allow it to grow even more. So reflection is important. We don't want to reminisce, though. We don't want to get stuck in the past. So balance is still key. Let's go on to the end of the week to see what the end of the week brings you. What can my Smoky Quartz friends expect from the end of the week? The Eight of Cups. That balance has served us well. We're going to be able to understand ourselves and continue on our inner journey, on our growth and our development. We have a clearer path formed. We can start to leave some of those aspects and pieces that aren't supporting us or serving us behind. We're going to be able to take that insight, that realization, and start to put it into action. Small baby steps forward. We're going to see that movement starting at the end of the week. We're able to see how that shift, that balance, that's supported us, helping us to overhaul and realign where it is we're going, helping us to gain better fulfillment and understanding on our journey. This week is about that alignment and that definition. Key elements into supporting you in this journey that we're on, helping to bring in that fulfillment and that abundance. So we know this alignment and definition is important. Let's look at the challenge, because this is what the week offers us. There's always a challenge. There's always that balancing part, if you will. What challenge will my Smoky Quartz friends face for the week of March 7th through the 13th? The King of Pentacles, Midas touch himself. We are going to feel unstable, unsure, and we are going to question ourselves every step of the way. We don't have that understanding of how this is going to be prosperous, how we're going to get anything out of it. Your ego is going to flare up and try and claw you back, creating instability and uncertainty. Having you, having you question everything. Bringing up and highlighting that past pain. Bringing up and highlighting that importance of getting what it is we deem as important done. Putting that blinder back on and pushing you forward so you continue on that little rat race that's got you going on. We need those critical thinking skills. We need to slow this down and be present, not just mindlessly doing what it is everything and everybody keeps telling us to say, do, and be. Taking that pause, taking those blinders off, and being open to what's happening right here and right now. When we start to take control back from the ego, and we start to bring in some tools and skills that will support us in like squishing it back down, we're going to strengthen us. And one of the easiest and simplest ways we can do that is through grounding. If we are stable and strong in that foundation, we are going to be able to challenge our ego and say, yeah, that doesn't make sense. I don't want to put the blinders back on. I want to see how I can bring in that balance. I can bring in more fulfillment and joy because that brings in more abundance. Focusing in on the positive and allowing that to grow rather than what's not working, because that brings nothing but sadness and fear. So to help out with that, I have a couple grounding meditations. I have a grounding meditation with Archangel Ariel, and let me tell you, she will ground you like never before. It's a fantastic meditation. That one's in my Healing with the Archangels. Then I have another grounding meditation that's in my Just You and Me playlist, where you and I sit down and we work on that grounding together. Now, these grounding meditations are fantastic to start our day out with, especially if you have that busy kind of chaotic day where you have a tendency to hear your ego a lot more because you get caught up in that whirlwind, in those expectations. It's so easy to put that blinder back on. You can start your day off with that meditation, helping you to align you, ground you, so you can make decisions and create conclusions that are for your greater good and for the highest vibration possible. Additionally, throughout the day, you can use crystals to support you in maintaining that grounded energy. Something like a black obsidian, a tiger iron, well, it'll support you in maintaining that grounded energy. It connects into your root chakra, and it will help maintain that energy throughout your day's adventure. And that groundingness, it's going to support you in turning the king from an obstacle to an ally, increasing that abundance and that growth. Because that grounded energy, like I said, gives you that stable foundation to function from. That more stable energy helps open you up to aligning you, to shifting you, and feeling confident in you and your skills to take those steps forward. Having Midas touch as an ally, so important. That growth, that abundance, it will come when we embrace him in an upright position, not as a challenge. When we're unstable and uncertain and questioning ourselves, we're going to get nowhere. We're going to be stagnant, stuck, and afraid. And that's exactly what your ego wants, by the way. That stagnant and stuck, it keeps you quote unquote protected. And it stops you from doing that crazy thing called growth and development. That's not what we do here though, right? We want that growth. We want that development. We want to push ourselves to that soul's deeper purpose. Not only bringing in meaning, but prosperity. We have abundance on all aspects of self because we're aligning ourselves. The universe is rewarding us for all our hard work. All right, let's see what other supports we can add in here. What blessings can my Smoky Quartz friends embrace for the week of March 7th through the 14th? Prayers and wishes. Such an important card. Asking for the help that we need. When we ask the high vibrational beings to support us, we're bringing down that law of free will. They're more able to help us out in meaningful ways. They just can't sit on the sidelines watching things go by going, oh no, not this again. They're not learning. They're not starting to break patterns, which this week is about, is breaking some of these patterns that brings you back, right back to where you started. We need to shift where we're directed so we're not back to where we started. So that prayer, setting those intentions, that helps to bring down the law of free will, and it supports the high vibrational beings in helping us out. Now, important thing here, guys, we don't pray to the high vibrational beings. The archangels, the unicorns, the dragons, it's very uncomfortable for them if you pray to them. You can talk to them, for sure. But sitting down and putting in prayer, you want to do that to the universal energy, to the God, the goddess, whatever it is you call that big symbol, that universal energy, that big deity in the sky, if you will. We pray to them, not to the high vibrational beings. You ask them, but prayer is intentional. And no, with prayer, you do not need to go to church. You don't have to be in a certain place. The only place you need to be is mindful and, well, if you will, intentional for you. So that prayer, it's important. Now the wishes, that's the fantastic part. It's part of that abundance piece, those manifestations. Putting out what it is we need right now. Letting go of it so the high vibrational beings, that universal energy, can bring it to us. Both are going to be important key elements in achieving what you want for this week and for the weeks to come. This is a work in progress. We do small, steady steps, so it's going to take some time. And with added supports, with reconfirming manifestations, it will help you along your journey. It'll help you get going. Cleansing body and spirit. We need to be releasing some of those pieces that are holding us back. That heartache, that pain. Because, like I said, it's going to hold us back. And it's not a fun energy to hold on to. Those blockages, that resistance. Again, setting some intention, and you can start to clear and cleanse you. And it doesn't have to be something that you're adding on to your already busy day. Before you get into the shower or before you get into the bath, ask the high vibrational beings to start to clear you out. Clear out some of this heaviness. Clear out some of this energy that's holding me back. And then you can visualize this heavy gunkiness coming off of you. Similar to that when you were a kid and your mom had to hose you off because you were all muddy and dirty. Well, same thing. It's just going to clump off and glump off you. Now, don't worry, your guardian angel is right there and will support you in transmuting that energy from a low vibration back to a high vibrational energy that will serve you and everything around you for the greater good of all. But that intention, you're just adding in as you're waiting for the water to get warm and you're getting ready for your bath or shower. You're just putting it out there. Help me clear myself, body, mind, and soul, so I set myself up for success. You can ask a certain high vibrational being, or you can just leave it open. It's what feels comfortable for you and will help you release some of those aspects and pieces that are holding you back. All right, we're going to end off this reading on any further insight, wisdom, and guidance that we can share with my Smoky Quartz friends for the week of March 7th through the 13th. I don't know about you, but I think it's pretty cool that we're starting off on International Women's Day at the beginning of the week, and we're ending off on March 13th. The 13th day being connected to the goddess. Again, that divine feminine energy. Sorry. The 13th card in the Major Arcana, Death. Okay, so you guys all saw that card stick to the table. I love it when this happens. It's the high vibrational beings reconfirming what it is I was talking about. So, talking about 13, and we have the 13th card. Obviously an important number. So when you have that multiple 13, the angels are telling you to calm your mind so that you can receive the intuitive messages that you need to support you on your journey. That intuition, that connection to the high vibrational beings, is going to be helpful right now. And no matter what your skill level is, being calm, being grounded, and being open will help you with receiving those messages. Back to the Death card. Everybody goes, when this one comes, it's a release card, guys. It's a transition card, which is exactly what we're in. We're transitioning. We're transitioning from something that isn't serving us so well, because we keep ending up back at the same spot, to something that's going to be Well, more supportive, helping us with that growth and that development. We need to release aspects, pieces, feelings, and beliefs so that we can shift those gears. This release is important. One of the ways I can support you in this release, of course, is through a meditation I did with Archangel Metatron, where we focused in on that release, releasing that heartache and pain, opening you up to some amazing opportunities. So that release is going to be essential. The Eight of Wands. Second eight we have on the table. I got the Eight of Cups up here. Now we have the Wands. When you have that multiple eight, the angels are telling you that abundance and prosperity is coming your way. You need to believe in yourself and your abilities to achieve it, which is very true. We are going to have to hold true to what it is we're trying to achieve here, because our ego, like I said, it's going to bring up a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, and a lot of fear to cause more stagnation. We're going to have to challenge ourselves, believe in our skills and abilities, believe in ourselves, and be able to embrace the opportunities that are being presented. Now, if you're really struggling with belief in self and belief of abilities and what you can accomplish, I do have another meditation that can be beneficial, and it's one I did with Archangel Raguel, where we start to balance out beliefs about self. It's a fantastic meditation that helps to release some of what's holding us back. And finally, the Two of Wands. Twos are about duality and choice. That wand that we're seeing double here now is about that inner fire, that inner flame. We have some decisions to make right now. Literally, we're standing at this precipice. We're at this starting point. Do we go left or do we go right? Do we go forward? This crossroads is for us. We need to make some decisions that is for our greater good. And what's more, start to look at how we can incorporate this shift into our everyday, one step at a time. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week is offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It helps me be found on the sea of YouTube, which supports us collectively, starting to raise our vibration and getting ourselves unstuck. And if you did like this video, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more coming your way, and you don't want to miss any of it. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight, healing, and education is through subscribing to my channel and hitting that little red bell so you don't miss a video. And also, if you did enjoy this video and want to support me making more, I do have a Patreon page. I have provided a link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Smoky Quartz friends. Hello and welcome, my Serpentine friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full deck of both the tarot and both oracle cards here so that you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week has in store for my Serpentine friends. What can my Serpentine friends expect? Wow! From the week of March 7th through the 13th. Very cool. Air magic. That insight, that direction I was talking about. In the introduction, I said that the divine feminine energy wants to guide us, shift us a bit, and then nudge us and push us in the right direction. This week is going to be about that added guidance, that added insight that's going to be so meaningful. We need to be calm, present, and open to this insight and wisdom as it comes forward. It's not going to be an instruction manual or a map or GPS. It's not that clear. We need to take some time, give ourselves some energy, and most importantly, some permission to start to solve this puzzle. We are somewhat of a super sleuth, if you will. We need to figure out what it is we signed up for, and what's more, how we can realign ourselves more fully with what it is we signed up for. Now, we don't necessarily have to have a very clear and defined picture of what it is we signed up for. We just need a better understanding on how we want to go forward. What's going to bring in that sparkle, that magic, that fulfillment that we need. So for this week, we need to be open. And it's going to be that permission and that intention that are going to be so invaluable. Let's look at what else we should be focusing in on. What should my Serpentine friends focus in on this week? Travel. Go somewhere else for a while. The answer is not at your studio or at your desk. Take yourself out of the artist state. Go somewhere different than your usual haunts. Now, we're not looking at going on an adventure or a traveling exposition. What we're looking at is thinking outside the box, doing things a little bit differently. We need to get out of our head, get out of that quote-unquote norm, so that we start to shift things for ourselves. If we try and open ourselves up to this divine guidance and support, yet continue to do what we always do, they don't mesh up. They're not going to align, and you're going to feel really unbalanced this week. We do need to think outside the box, start to partake in things that will support you with that grounding, that centered, that calm, that harmony, getting ourselves out of that normal grind and into a more open space. The more open we are, the more we're going to receive. And it's in that guidance and wisdom that we're going to start to connect those dots. We want that knowledge. We need that aha. Well, this week offers it to us. Should we take that time? Should we start to shift ourselves and our perspective to be open to it? So let's look at this week a bit more. What does the beginning of the week bring my Serpentine friends? I know many of us would really like to travel and get away. We're kind of been stuck in the same, if you will, haunt. We've been stuck in the house for this almost a year now. Well, it's about thinking outside the box. We may not be able to leave physically, but we need to shift perspectives. Do something that we may not normally do that's going to support us with opening ourselves up. Sometimes to get that inspiration and insight, we have to shift the way we're seeing things. And the best way to do that is shift up what we do during the day. The Three of Swords. That heartache and pain, it's weighing us down. It's holding us back. That stuck, well, it's very clear at the beginning of the week. We've come into March in a heavy heart. We're feeling kind of overwhelmed and exhausted. That shift will do us some good. We've got to get out of our head, get out of those repeating thoughts, that ruminating feeling. We need to start to release some of this pain. We can't hold on to it much longer. It's kind of tearing us up inside. One of the best ways that we can do that is through a meditation that I did with Archangel Metatron. Months ago, we're probably coming up to a year almost, Archangel Metatron and I collaborated in helping you to release this pain so that you were more open to the high vibrational stuff, the fun, the light, the love. It's a funny thing with vibration. We utilize and fuel ourselves with the high vibrational, fun, and light experience. That low vibration, those experiences that cause heartache and pain, it just weighs us down. We need to release that to open ourselves up for more high vibration. Think of it as having a cup on the inside. If it gets too full, well, we start to pool and feel stuck. Tipping it out and releasing it, that's what we need to focus in on. Archangel Metatron will help you with that. Now, if you're new to my channel and aren't too sure about what I'm talking about with these meditations, I have 2 meditative playlists. One is Healing with the Archangels, where you'll find that meditation with Archangel Metatron. The second series is called Just You and Me, where it's exactly what it is. It's just you and me working on skills and tools that will support you on your journey. Now, all the meditations in both playlists are about 30 minutes long. They're a guided meditation, and most importantly, they're free to you to visit and revisit as you need. These are amazing tools that are going to support you to help you overcome your challenges and embrace all that there is all around you. So that Archangel Metatron meditation is going to help you shift from that heartache and pain. Additionally, we do have on Monday the International Women's Day, that divine feminine energy. We can use that to nurture us, to strengthen us, so that we are more open to this alignment. Like I said in the introduction, this divine feminine energy, we're not going to solely use it for that nurturing. We're going to get it to push us in the right direction. So, direction. Let's go into the middle of the week. What can my Serpentine friends expect from the middle of the week? And there's your movement. The 8 of Cups. Now, 8s in tarot are always about movement. They're about manifestation. We're moving away from that heartache and pain. We're going to start to break the pattern, that cycle that leads us back to this pain, this heartache, this stagnation. We're going to walk away from it. We're going to break it. We can do that, obviously, through working with Archangel Metatron. Fantastic Archangel. Absolutely adore him. Actually, I love all of them. But Archangel Metatron is like a big teddy bear. Anyway, he's going to help us break some of these patterns, because he's going to break the pattern and help you heal from it. Now, he's not going to do all the work for you. You need to do some of that work for yourself as well. That guidance, that insight, it's going to help you to break those patterns. Help you to identify those patterns that are holding you back, that are causing you that stagnation, that are causing you not to be able to align yourself to your soul's deeper purpose. You have that resistance. So we're going to break that. We're going to start down a more meaningful path. It's going to be a more meaningful path. And what's more, this path is going to be lit up. And you're going to have that guide of your intuition to help you down it, because you have that insight and support of the high vibrational beings. Now, no matter what your skill level is with your intuition, or with working with the communication or channeling of high vibrational beings, you can still gain that insight, helping you to maneuver down this pathway. The most important aspect, of course, is that you're open to it, that you're grounding yourself, and that you're giving yourself permission. I keep talking about permission, but it's important. Many times we will inadvertently just say, yeah, I'm going to do that. We have no enthusiasm, no connection to what it is we said we'd do. This disconnection, well, it causes a lot of problems because we're not fully engaged with what we're doing. Permission helps to bring down some of those resistances. You're giving yourself permission to use energy and time. Both are valuable resources to do what it is you want to do. Now, one of the meditations that's coming up that would support you in the middle of the week is one that I did with Archangel Christiel. She is connected into this divine feminine energy. And the most fantastic part is that we're looking at that guidance forward, that pathway forward. Fantastic meditation to help you calm you, center and ground you, and open you up to that insight and that guidance. That healing we did with Archangel Metatron. It's time for that insight in that direction. Like I said, this divine feminine energy, it's not all about healing. We're going to get into that mama bear that's going to really nudge us forward. And forward we go. Right into the end of the week here. What does the end of the week bring? My Serpentine friends. I do enjoy how this little witch is literally put her barricade up and is walking away from this heartache and pain. The way the cards interact, it's important. It tells so much more than what I can. That feeling, that understanding. Oh, fantastic. The moon. We started the week off in the divine feminine, and we end the week off with the divine feminine. Like I said, that pathway forward is essential. The moon card is a gatekeeper. In the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, you see in the distance these two pillars. And you have to follow a path. And on one side is a dog, on the other side of the path is a wolf. And there's this weird crustacean thing coming out of some water. But in the distance, these pillars, you can see the path go through them and beyond. That gateway, that rite of passage, shifting away, breaking some patterns, and moving forward into something more fulfilling. This rite of passage is for you to take. Now, I know I'm making it sound easy. This is the moon. It's surrounded in unknown. It's surrounded in fear. We're taught at a young age to fear everything that comes out at night. We're taught to fear that unknown. We need to take that deep breath. Trust in our supports, that guidance. We're not doing this journey alone, my friends. We have that support. We need to tap in to our courage, our determination, and move forward. Remember, we have a support lighting our way. That pathway goes from the Eight of Cups right through to the moon. Using our courage, our determination to shift and get away and release that pain, embrace that sparkle and that light. Keeping our eye on what is truly important. This week, like I said, offers you a lot of opportunities to make some shifts that are going to be meaningful for you. These shifts, as you maintain them, bring in change. As we shift away from that heartache and pain, we make that decision and give ourselves permission to release and to move forward. That's not hard. All I've suggested so far is to do some meditation, to open yourself up. Give yourself permission. These are not radical pieces, nor are they time-consuming pieces. They're easily put in your everyday. However, this time for self, gives you that aha moment. That aha moment leads you forward. Inspiration and opportunity. We don't want to dive in head first. We want to take those slow, steady steps so we don't aggravate our ego. Our ego will hold us back. If this is done slow and steady, our ego doesn't really realize it's happening. It's too stable. It can't poke its head in. That change will come with these small, sustained shifts. All right, so I talked about your ego, but let's see what other challenges that are going to come up in this week. What challenge will my Serpentine friends face for the week of March 7th through the 13th? Now, it's interesting. You guys have a lot of the Divine Feminine in this week. Like I said, the Monday, we have International Women's Day, where we highlight and celebrate that feminine energy. The moon comes in at the end of the week. Again, that divine feminine energy, which ends off on the 13th, which is the number associated with the goddess. That divine feminine, it's an important part of this week. It's going to help give you that healing, and it's going to give you that inspiration, that motivation forward. And we have yet more. The Queen of Pentacles. That nurturing, loving queen. It's really hard to try and juggle everything all day. We don't see ourselves as a priority. Like I said very much at the beginning here, that permission, it's important. That intention, again, important. We're going to minimize our needs because our ego is going to highlight the needs and demands that come up during the day. Oh, you're too tired to meditate. There's not enough time. You're too tired to do this. How can you take away from others? These are thoughts that we have. We need to start to shift our perspective here. Shift how important we are to ourselves. Realizing we can't be everything for everybody, that we can only do our best. And when we do our best, that includes taking time for ourselves. It helps to strengthen and nurture us so that we can give back to others. One of the ways we can do that is through a meditation I did with Archangel Raguel, where we looked at that balance of belief of self. That can help us to start to shift this beautiful queen from an obstacle to an ally, feeling more empowered to take care of ourselves, to be open to this information and insight that's going to be shared with us, helping us to break patterns that we keep coming up on. We feel like we've got some movement, however, we find ourselves right back where we started. We need to break those patterns so we don't end up back here. Another piece that the Queen of Pentacles talks about is the importance of grounding. The more grounded and stable we are, the more we're able to shift out of these patterns, break them, and move forward. The more stable we are, the more grounded we are, the less your ego is going to be able to destabilize you throughout your process. I have a number of grounding meditations that you can use to support you with that. One is with Archangel Ariel, who will ground you like you have never been grounded before. The next one I have is in my Just You and Me playlist that gives you a tool that you can use throughout your day. Both are fantastic meditations that you can really improve your day by participating in the early part of your day. Then you can use crystals to support you in maintaining that grounded, centered space. You have that stability that you can take throughout your day. Crystals that I'd recommend are any black or red crystal they correlate with your root chakra that brings in that stability and groundedness. For example, something like black tourmaline, or you could also go with something like a tiger iron. This will help with that stability. And you can easily find them. These are readily available and not too expensive crystals. You can use them as pendants or as a bracelet. If it's a polished crystal, so it's like shiny like this and smooth, you can tuck it into your pocket or bra. Use what you have at hand to your advantage, helping you to maintain that stability of that queen throughout your week. Now, we have been talking about the 13 and the divine feminine a lot here. When you have that multiple 13, the angels are telling you that you need to take some time, calm your mind, so that you're open to the intuitive support available to you. That stable, grounded energy will support you with calming your mind and opening you up to what is going to come forward, what will be readily available. We just need to slow down and be present for it. All right, let's look at what other supports I can offer you here. Let's go into some blessings. What blessing can my Serpentine friends embrace for the week of March 7th through the 13th? Planting the seeds. What you're going to do this week is going to support you with growth now and growth later. These skills, these ideas, that insight, it's going to matter. Some pieces and aspects that you're going to receive this week are going to be for later on. They're just going to sit within you. They're going to be nurtured and loved as you nurture and love you. They will grow and start to emerge when you need them most. Knowing that as you take care of you, you will start to take care of those challenges with greater ease. You have greater skill development. You have greater understanding of you and what you can achieve. Seasonal harvest. Reconfirming some of what you're going to receive this week is going to be for the here and now, while others are for later. Taking that time for self will go a long way in strengthening your understanding of what you currently have available. Those tools, those skills, those abilities, because they're going to grow even more. As time goes on, as you continue down this pathway, as you continue your journey, your development, you will have more skills and abilities come forward, and you have a better understanding of how you're going to use them now and in the future. So this week is a pivotal week, very much that rite of passage. So let's end off the reading with any further insight. Whoa, the cards are flying. Guidance. Okay, seriously, now that one's under the table. There you go. Support that I can offer my Serpentine friends for the week of March 7th through the 13th. Oh, I love it when the cards start flying like that. It gets kind of overwhelming sometimes, especially when they hit the floor. The Nine of Swords. We have to overcome this. Embracing that new dawn. This isn't serving us. That heartache, that pain, that fear. It amplifies. It goes from the 3 to the 9 quite quickly. It's a slippery slope. Without making some shifts now, we're going to find this slope gets steeper and steeper. We need to use our skills, our abilities, and our courage not being afraid to ask for the support we need. We are not doing this journey alone. We have support on the spiritual and the physical realms. If we don't feel that we're strong enough to get ourselves off this slippery slope, we may need to ask for support from those around us, our friends, our family, the medical practitioners. We don't need to do this alone. We do know we want to shift to that new day, to that sparkle and magic. This heartache and pain, it's not serving us in any way. The Page of Pentacles, reconfirming that need for that grounding, that stability, and that growth. The Page, of course, is that playful, curious energy. It asks the hard questions, and we do need to ask those hard questions. No fear, right? Allow that inner toddler out. That toddler inquisition will help you to gain the insight you need. Help clearly give you that path ahead. What's more, the Page has fun wherever they go. No matter the page, you're looking at that playful energy. We don't want to get weighed down in that heartache and pain. Shifting our perspective, shifting that energy from one of dread and feeling overwhelmed to one of excitement, enthusiasm, and fun. Shifting our perspective will help us shift gears, help us to raise our vibration, helping us to gain more insight, more aha, more bang for our buck this week. And finally, the Nine of Pentacles. Now, nines are about all that we've overcome, achieved, and, well, lived through. The Nine of Swords talks about that heartache, that pain, those situations that stay with us. We haven't taken the information. Rather, that situation has caused trauma, and that trauma has caused stagnation. Whereas the Nine of Pentacles talks about that growth, that abundance, talks about how we've been able to thrive and succeed. No matter what challenges we've been faced with, we've overcome them. We need to continue to focus in on that positive for further growth, for further abundance. As we're working on that high vibration, that positive, the universe likes to reward us with, of course, more abundance, more prosperity, more support. Things fall into place easier. We don't have that heaviness and challenge. It's up to us, though, to start to work towards what is important, what is working, what is meaningful, and most importantly, what is fun. Of course, we have that double nine. In angel messages, when you see that multiple nine, the angels are telling you that this is a time to focus in on your soul's deeper purpose, which is very true. We're at that crossroads. It's up to you to determine which crossroads you go to, which nine is more appealing. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week is offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It helps me be found on the sea of YouTube, which supports us collectively, starting to raise our vibration and getting ourselves unstuck. And if you did like this video, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more coming your way, and you don't want to miss any of it. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight, healing, and education is through subscribing to my channel and hitting that little red bell so you don't miss a video. And also, if you did enjoy this video and want to support me making more, I do have a Patreon page. I have provided a link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my serpentine friends.